It's been busy. Alright, now I am taking the engine out of a 1998 Toyota Camry. And best way to really do this is through the bottom. So what you gotta do is go around and disconnect everything from the engine compartment. Started with the battery, air cleaner, and then took off the alternator, put it on the side there, disconnected the air conditioning lines, and then you got to go around and find all your wires and unhook them, and you end up with that big harness over there like that, all wrapped up. And heater hoses are back here, of course. Some of the stuff you can't get at until you start lifting the car up, actually. But underneath on each part of this bottom frame, there's one big bolt. So this whole thing is really only held in by 4 bolts. But the thing that kind of sucked, though, is I had to take off the wheel liner that was in here to get at some stuff. And then you proceed to disconnect your struts. You don't have to worry about using a spring compressor or anything like that. You just unbolt them on the top here. And then you have to slowly start lifting the car up. Oh, and put it on jack stands. But the thing is now I need to get it. I pretty much have the engine dropped. It's sitting on jack stands over there, that whole frame piece. So now what I got to do, though, is I got to get a big board going across here from the driver's side to the passenger side and get my big jack with the wheels on it and get this car up as high as possible and roll it back. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to have to build some kind of board thing underneath here to jack it up on evenly and straight and high enough. So I'm going to start taking some measurements and do that. Found a great big post. It's like a 5x5 square big hunk of wood. I put it underneath there, right in the middle across, and lifted it up. Got it pretty much high enough to get it over the engine. So now I got to jack stand it to about that position and then move my jack and then figure out how I'm going to roll this thing back. I got my great big Mojumbo jack stand underneath there, kind of in the middle of the car, which is a little iffy. I don't know if this thing's going to teeter-totter or stay there, but we will find out, because I'm going to let down the jack real slow, hopefully. Alright, so far so good. Now I'm going to turn that jack around this way. Hopefully I have enough room. Give another bite at it and lift it up a little bit higher, and then I can roll it back on the jack. That's the plan anyway. But hopefully that works. And I'm glad it didn't teeter-totter, because that is almost in the middle of the car. Don't try this at home, folks. Okay, I had to readjust my board a little bit more. I added a couple of 2x4s onto it to get a little more height, and gave it a little push, got the wheels on the jack going the right way, so I think she will go. So let's see what happens. Far so good, but I hit a crack in the garage floor. Oh, maybe I can pull this wheel in. That sucks. Well, I guess I'm going to have to re-jack stand it and get the jack past that crack. Put on pause for a minute, this is going to be boring. Alright, I readjusted the jack again a little bit, but unfortunately I had to bring it back because I couldn't get past the crack, so I can probably go another 8 inches before I hit that crack again. But that's okay, I'm just going to have to deal with it. Actually rolled right over the crack. I don't believe it. Well, my jack stand's ready to go. One. Two. Back wheels are going to want to hit that crack. See if I can muscle past it. Just got a little more to go. Come on, baby. Alright. Anyway, cleared the engine. Hey, puts me out of breath pushing that by myself. But I did it. Alright, well, now I'm going to lower down the jack and push her back out of the way. So, I still got to get past that crack. See the crack in the floor right by the back wheels? It's just a little one, but it sure is enough to stop a jack when it's weighted down. Alright, I lowered her down a little bit, but now my handle's stuck in there, so I'm probably gonna have to take the handle off the jack to get it out, but I still got about another foot to push the car back, so hopefully I can get it back. Now, set it down on jack stands. Against the wall. Yep. Jack cable somehow. Slow, baby. Whoa! I hate about these jacks. Go slow and you hit the right spot, and all of a sudden it just goes. Maybe one more. Oh. Alright, well. Leave it like that for now. Figure out exactly what I'm doing here. So she's out, pretty much on the floor. But there we go. This is a lot of work, but main reason I'm doing this because of that right there. See that nice big hole in the block? Yep, she threw a rod. Look at that, man, that's huge. Look at that. It's my thumb in there. I mean, man. That thing is like huge, and my thumb's pretty big. My hands are pretty big, but look at that hole. It's about big around as a soda can. So I gotta tear this all apart and see what the damages are. I already got another block, or actually I got a whole engine sitting right there on that crate, just like this, but I'm hoping to just have to change the block because this engine's a little bit different than that one. So the main thing is this one's got this electronic box on it, and that one has a distributor cap. So I think I might be changing the head. Hopefully this head is okay and didn't get damaged when that rod through, but who knows. I might end up having to go junkyard chopping and find another head. I don't know. I don't know if I can use that head or not with that cap and rotor setup on it, because that engine's a couple of years older than this one. But anyway, as you can see, one big bolt, another big bolt, another big bolt, and another big bolt, and then you just take off your top three strut things. I mean, that's basically all that holds this whole thing in there. I mean, that's unbelievable. And this steering knuckle, this thing's a real pain. I had to go inside the car and take it off at the underneath, but there's a bolt down here, right there, that I did on the other car. I just took that bolt out and this whole piece just slipped off. So I don't know why it didn't want to do that on this car, but Probably frozen. But anyway, besides, I say disconnecting the wires and all the plugs and everything took longer than taking this thing out. I mean, really, there's a million plugs, man. I had to get each fuel injector all individually. I mean, man, that's just a mile of wire. You can see it all right here. This is the whole cluster mabob. I mean, look at that. That's a lot of stuff. I took a lot of pictures, so hopefully I can put them back where they need to be. I really wish they just would have put like a main plug here, you know, you just take the thing off and, you know, that would have been a heck of a lot easier. It was a pain. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I had to take off the engine just to fish those wires through, because the wires would go through, but the plug-ins wouldn't, you know. But anyway, I got it out, and I'll tear it down, and I guess we will do another video on the tear down and look at what the damage is. So fun, fun, fun. I'm having fun. Are you? This is pretty cool. Just think, that's the whole thing held in by 4 big bolts and 6 little bolts. Pretty much. So, wow, that's amazing. Well, there's a bunch of other little tiny bolts, but mostly that's just stuff in the way. But that's pretty much all that mounts onto the frame of the car. That's unbelievable. Right onto that frame rail. Well, I'm gonna start taking her apart and see how bad she is. Till next time, torch out.